The earth here in Botswana tells a story. It's a story of immense pressure, a story of incredible value. We are standing at the edge of the Jwaneng mine. They call it the richest diamond mine in the world. It's a vast, terraced crater carved from the flat Kalahari landscape. Below us, giant trucks look like children's toys as they haul tons of kimberlite ore. This is the source of Botswana's wealth. It's the engine that has transformed this nation from one of Africa's poorest at independence into a modern success story. The diamonds pulled from this ground have built roads, schools, hospitals. A short drive away is Gaborone. It is the nation's capital. The city is clean. It's organized. Modern glass buildings rise, bustling markets. You see a sense of purpose here, a sense of pride. This isn't the chaotic, impoverished Africa sometimes portrayed in the news. This is a country that has, for the most part, used its natural resources wisely. The diamond wealth is visible in the infrastructure. It's tangible in free education, healthcare. Botswana's story stands in stark contrast to the tragic tales often associated with African diamonds. But how do you protect this legacy? How do you guarantee that every single stone reaching the global market is a force for good? The diamond industry has long been haunted by a dark secret. A secret that taints the very symbol of love and commitment. Deep within the earth, the jeweler's display case. This opacity has allowed for great evil to flourish. It has funded wars. It has fueled unspeakable human suffering. For Botswana, protecting its most precious resource means protecting its very soul. The challenge is immense. Once a rough diamond is pulled from the ground, it can be indistinguishable from any other. It can be smuggled across borders. It can be mixed into legitimate parcels. Its origins can be deliberately obscured. This has been the dilemma for decades. How do you separate a diamond that builds a nation from one that destroys it? For years, the industry has wrestled with this question. The industry knew it had to act. The public outcry was growing louder. The stories coming out of West Africa were too horrific to ignore. The challenge was that the supply chain was designed to be opaque. It was a complex web of miners, dealers, cutters, and polishers spanning multiple continents. Following a single stone through this maze was nearly impossible. Botswana watched this unfold with great concern. Its own diamonds were ethical. They were diamonds for development, not conflict. Yet in the eyes of a nervous public, a diamond was just a diamond. Narrator, Vo. In 2003, the world tried to solve the problem. Narrator, Vo. The Kimberley Process Certification Scheme was launched. Narrator, Vio. It was an unprecedented joint effort. It brought together governments. Narrator, Vio. It brought together the diamond industry. Narrator, Vio. It brought together civil society. Narrator, Vio. The goal was simple: to stop the trade of conflict diamonds. Narrator, Vio. The system required member countries to certify that shipments of rough diamonds were conflict-free. Narrator, Vio. Any shipment without a certificate was supposed to be turned away. Narrator, Vio. On paper it was a powerful idea. Narrator, Vio. A global firewall against blood diamonds. Narrator, Vo. For a time it seemed to work. Narrator, Vio. The Kimberley process is credited with stemming the flow of blood diamonds from major war zones. Narrator, Vo. It made it much harder for rebel groups to fund their campaigns with illicit stones. Narrator, Vo. It forced a degree of accountability on a notoriously secretive industry. Narrator, Vo. The scheme helped clean up a significant portion of the global diamond supply. It was a monumental step forward. Narrator, Vo. However, the system was far from perfect. Narrator, Vo. Its cracks began to show over time. The Kimberley process defines conflict diamonds very narrowly. Narrator, Vo. It only covers diamonds used by rebel groups to fight a legitimate government. Narrator, Vo. It says nothing about other human rights abuses. Narrator, Vo. It doesn't address forced labor. Narrator, Vo. It doesn't address violence perpetrated by government forces themselves. Narrator, Vo. A diamond mined under horrific conditions by a corrupt regime could still be certified as conflict-free. Narrator, Vo. This was a major loophole, a major moral blind spot. Narrator, Vo. Furthermore, the system relied on paper certificates. Narrator, Vo. These certificates could be forged. Narrator, Vo. Shipments could be tampered with. Narrator, Vo. Illicit diamonds could be smuggled into a compliant country and mixed with legitimate stones. Narrator, Vo. Once mixed, they would receive a clean Kimberley process certificate, effectively laundering their bloody history. Narrator, Vo. The process was a physical solution for a physical product, but it was vulnerable to human corruption. Narrator, Vo. And logistical gaps. Narrator, Vo. It was a shield, but a flawed one. Narrator, Vo. Botswana and the rest of the ethical diamond world needed something stronger. Narrator, Vo. Something unbreakable. Narrator, Vo. So what is this technology that promises to succeed where paper failed? Narrator VO. What is blockchain? Narrator VO. Let's break it down. Narrator VO. Imagine a digital notebook, a ledger. Narrator VO. Every time something happens to a diamond, when it's mined, when it's sorted, when it's cut, a new entry is made in this notebook. Narrator VO. But here's the key. Narrator VO. This isn't just one notebook. Narrator VO. It's a network of identical notebooks shared and updated at the same time across many computers. Narrator VO. Everyone involved in the diamond's journey has a copy. Narrator VO. Each new entry or block is cryptographically linked to the one before it. Narrator VO. This creates a chain. Think of it like a digital chain of custody. Narrator VO. Every block contains information like a timestamp, details of the transaction, and a unique code. Narrator VO. It captures carat weight. Narrator VO. This code acts like a digital fingerprint. Narrator VO. Crucially, once a block is added to the chain, it cannot be altered or deleted. Narrator VO. To change a single entry, you would have to change every subsequent block on every single computer in the network. Narrator VO. This is practically impossible. Narrator VO. This immutability is what makes blockchain so powerful. Narrator VO. It creates a single, shared, and tamper-proof source of truth. Narrator VO. There is no one person or company in control. Narrator VO. The network itself validates every transaction. It removes the need for a central authority, which could be a point of failure or corruption. Narrator VO. The trust isn't placed in a person or a piece of paper. Narrator VO. The trust is placed in the mathematics, in the code itself. It's a system designed to be inherently trustworthy. Narrator VO. Now apply this to a diamond. Narrator VO. A rough stone is unearthed at the Jwaneng mine in Botswana. Narrator VO. It is immediately scanned, weighed, and given a unique digital identity. Narrator VO. A unique ID, a digital twin, is created. Narrator VO. It captures carat weight. Narrator VO. It captures clarity. Narrator VO. It captures color. Narrator VO. It captures the internal inclusion pattern. Narrator VO. That data becomes the first block on the blockchain. Narrator VO. The digital identity is securely linked to the physical stone. Narrator VO. From that moment, the digital and physical journeys are locked together. Narrator VO. As the diamond moves through the supply chain, every handoff is recorded on Tracker. Narrator VO. Okavango Diamond Company auctions the stone. That transaction is added. Narrator VO. A site holder like HB Antwerp purchases it for cutting and polishing. Another block is created. Narrator VO. Each participant has a secure login to the platform. Narrator VO. They can only add information about the diamonds they possess. They cannot change the history that came before. Narrator VO. The chain of custody is unbroken and verifiable at every step. Narrator VO. This isn't just theoretical. Narrator VO. Tracer is live and operational. Narrator VO. It is already tracking millions of dollars worth of diamonds from Botswana's mines. Narrator VO. De Beers has made Tracker core to its business strategy. Narrator VO. Modern consumers want more than beauty, they demand certainty. Narrator VO. They want to know the story behind their diamond. Narrator VO. Tracer provides that story in an immutable digital format. Narrator VO. It transforms a diamond from a commodity into a verifiable artifact of ethical sourcing and responsible development. Narrator VO. To understand the real impact, you have to talk to the people. Narrator VO. We met with Othusitse, a veteran miner at the Orapa mine for over 20 years. Narrator VO. For us, diamonds are our lifeblood, he said, his face etched with pride. Narrator VO. We have always known our diamonds are good. They build our country. Narrator VO. But the world did not always see this. This blockchain, it is like a truth machine. It shows everyone what we have always known. It protects our work. It protects our children's future. His sentiment is echoed across the mining communities. The technology isn't just about protecting the past, it's about empowering the future. We spoke with a group of young university students in Gaborone. One of them, a tech-savvy 22-year-old named Kalalelo, is studying computer science. For my parents' generation, a good job meant the mines or the government. But now we see a new industry growing around the diamonds. Data analysis, software development, digital security. Blockchain creates new kinds of jobs, modern jobs. It shows that Botswana can be a leader not just in mining, but in technology. Community leaders see it as a declaration of national sovereignty. We sat down with a village elder near the Jwaneng mine. He gestured toward the new clinic in his village, funded by diamond revenues. For a long time, outsiders told our story for us. They mixed our diamonds with conflict diamonds in their stories. Now, we tell our own story. The blockchain speaks for the stone. I am from Botswana. I built this clinic. I paid for that child's school uniform. It gives us our voice back. It is a source of great national confidence. This confidence is palpable. The government of Botswana, through its partnership with companies like De Beers and HB Antwerp, has embraced this technology wholeheartedly. They see it as the ultimate guarantee. It secures their most vital revenue stream against the reputational damage caused by illicit diamonds. It assures their global customers of the ethical nature of their product. For the people of Botswana, from the miners to the students to the leaders, blockchain is more than just code. It is a digital shield that protects their national treasure and secures their legacy. The shift is not just happening in the minds of Botswana, it's happening in the minds of consumers. A new movement is gaining momentum: conscious luxury. Today's buyer, especially the younger generation, wants more than just a beautiful product. They want to know its story. Where did it come from? Who made it? Was anyone harmed in its creation? Was the environment protected? These questions are reshaping the luxury market. Provenance is becoming as important as the 4 C's: cut, color, clarity, carat. Blockchain is the perfect tool for this new era of transparency. Imagine walking into a high-end jewelry store. You are looking at 2 identical engagement rings. For the first ring, the jeweler can only say, "I'm sure it's conflict-free." For the second, the jeweler hands you a tablet. Instantly, the diamond's entire life story appears on the screen. You see the date it was mined in Botswana. You see a 3-dimensional model of the original rough stone. You see when it was cut and polished. You might even see a message from the community it helped support. This is not science fiction, this is happening now. This creates a direct emotional connection between the final owner and the origin of the stone. It transforms the purchase from a simple transaction into a meaningful act. You are not just buying a diamond, you are investing in the story of Botswana's development. You are becoming part of its ethical legacy.